Hey everyone, my name is Jenny and welcome to my channel, Time and Love. In today's video, I have a recipe to share with you. I'm excited to share my recipe for rigatoni with vegan meatballs with you. It's super easy to make. Delicious. It's perfect for a cozy night in at home. And if you're craving something a little bit heartier and comforting, this is definitely a recipe to try. And I'm getting a little help from the store with this recipe. I'm going to be using the Beyond Meat meatballs. They are so good if you have not tried them yet. I love them so much, and I am a big fan of Beyond Meat and their different products, but I think the meatballs might actually be my favorite product that they make. And I purchased mine at my local Whole Foods. They have them in their freezer section. And this video is not sponsored at all. I just love their products so much, and I'm excited to show you how to make this super easy pasta recipe, and so you can make it for dinner this week. Let's go ahead and get to it. To start the recipe, I have some avocado oil heating up in my Dutch oven, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the vegan Beyond meatballs that I have thawed in the fridge overnight. I'm just going to place them in the pot, trying to keep them separate from each other. And if you are unable to find the Beyond meatballs at your local store where you live, you can always just use your favorite vegan meatball. I would just go ahead and skip the searing step if you are using a vegan frozen meatball like Gardein or Trader Joe's vegan meatballs. So we are seeing our meatballs. They have started to turn light brown on one side, so I am just flipping them over. I'm just following the package instructions on how it says to sear the meatballs. So for about 3 minutes here cooking, and I'm just letting the other side get brown, and then we will remove them to make the rest of our sauce. So our meatballs are done searing, so I'm just going to carefully transfer them to a plate and set them aside. And I'm going to go ahead and leave all of the oil and the renderings from the meatballs in the pot. I think it's going to add a lot more flavor to our tomato pasta sauce. So I'm just going to leave all that goodness in there, and we're going to deglaze it with red wine, and that'll just give it even more flavor. So now we're going to add in 1 diced yellow onion to our pot. We're just going to give that a stir, and then we're just going to cook until our onion is soft and translucent. Our onion is nice and translucent, so now we're going to add in some minced garlic, and we're just going to let that cook for about another minute. Now we're going to add in some dry red wine, and I'm just going to give this a good stir and try to pick any of those brown bits at the bottom of the pan to make sure that it gets incorporated into our wine, which is going to add so much flavor to our pasta sauce. And then we just want to let the red wine reduce down to most of it has cooked and evaporated off, and this will cook out any of the alcohol too. Next, I'm going to add in a can of crushed tomatoes. I really like the crushed tomatoes with basil. And then I'm going to be adding in some diced tomatoes. I really like the combination of the crushed tomatoes with the diced tomatoes in the sauce. I think it's really good. So once those are added, we're going to give it a good stir, making sure everything is incorporated together. Next, we're going to season our sauce with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then also a little bit of sugar. The sugar is just going to help cut the acidity of the canned tomatoes and help balance all the flavors of the sauce. And so we're going to give it one good stir. So I went ahead and added in our seared vegan meatballs, and I'm just going to carefully stir the meatballs into the sauce, trying not to break them up. And then I'm going to bring the sauce to a simmer and then reduce the heat to low and cook it for about 45 minutes. And this is just going to create such a flavorful pasta sauce. The sauce has been cooking away for about 45 minutes, and now I'm going to go ahead and cook our rigatoni pasta while this finishes cooking.
And while our pasta is finishing cooking, I'm going to go ahead and grate some vegan Parmesan cheese. I am using BioLife's Parmesan cheese. I think it's so good. I love it so much, and it grates just like dairy Parmesan cheese. And I'm just using my box grater to grate the cheese. I love this box grater. It's super inexpensive, and if you don't have a food processor to grate your vegan cheese, this just makes things so much easier. I will link it down below in the description box. If you don't have one, I highly recommend adding it to your kitchen essentials because it's so cheap and it does a great job at grating things. I use it to like grate carrots, and it does a great job with our vegan cheese. And here is our finished rigatoni with Beyond Meatballs. Oh my gosh, it is incredible. I hope you guys enjoy this pasta recipe as much as I do. And if you haven't tried the Beyond Meatballs, highly recommend it. And I am just going to garnish our pasta with that vegan parmesan that we grated. Just add as much as you want to, just to garnish it and give a little bit of a cheesy flavor. And then I like to add a little bit of freshly chopped parsley to garnish the pasta as well. I think this just adds a touch of freshness and also a pop of color.
If you love pasta dishes, I think that you are definitely going to love this one, and I hope that you give it a try. If you do, be sure to leave a comment letting us know how you liked it. And also, the direct link for the recipe is in the description box below, so you can have like all the correct measurements and instructions on how to make this rigatoni with vegan meatballs. And if you are new here and would like to see more recipe videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Bye!